We got mundered. Oh, man, I didn't realize.
We got mundered? Shit.
Damn it. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Losers Lounge. Harrison, welcome back.
Good to be back.
A little long, extended homestand, always at the arena, but this is what it's like, man.
God, we're down bad right now, man.
That's so bad.
We might have lost another starter tonight.
Oh, we're down so bad. This is a real bummer. But Dev, you're gonna pick us up, right?
That can't be my job.
It's not your job tonight?
That can't be my job right now.
Can you try?
I do my best.
It's Thanksgiving week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, is there any? I don't know. We try to be
I'm looking
thankful.
forward to Thanksgiving.
Are you? You're looking forward to
Yeah.
it. What are you looking forward to the most?
Food.
You looking forward to Thanksgiving?
Absolutely.
Really?
Like my family is like real broken up, so I get to go to like 4 different sets of houses. It's always tough trying to figure out like how much I can eat at one place because, you know, some places have better food than the other places.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't want to overeat, but then you don't want to be disrespectful and not eat. So
do you
just have to
organize
play
it by like best meal first? Or is that the method? Is you go to the place with the best food?
No.
In case you do overeat?
So what I do is I don't eat much at the places that don't have good foods because I know the one that has the good food, that's where I'm going to go hard at. So I just make sure that's the place that I'm going to eat. And then when I get to the other ones, I go, I'm going to do a to-go plate because I'm just
To-go plate. I love it.
Bring your own to-go box so everybody already knows what's up.
I'm all in. You better have aluminum foil ready.
I'm hosting Thanksgiving this year.
Wow, that's a lot of responsibility.
It is a lot, and I haven't prepared at all for it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm cooking anything, though. So there's
Just hosting.
Just hosting.
How does that happen?
What do you guys want us to talk about the game? I mean, come on. What's there to say? We can just do this for like at least 55 more minutes. Brendan Vogt, Eric's off. He's drunk. Brendan Vogt is right now speaking with Michael Malone. He'll speak to some players. He'll join us. He might join us before the players and then just duck out whenever the players get. Did you write him, by the way, Kel? You might want to write him that note. But we do have a game to analyze. Look, the Nuggets off the top rope. The Nuggets are in limbo right now. They're in purgatory. They're missing, their big 3 max contract players. Missing even Zeke Naji, who I think could even make an impact right now.
Sure.
They're down bad. We're just in this point right now where you don't expect to win. Denver was 11-point underdogs, 11.5. What was it? Dev? And wasn't close. They get blown out almost by 30. So they're just in a spot. Is there anything you feel like, hey, this is a real meaningful takeaway from this game?
Well, I've got a couple. We saw game 2 of Aaron Gordon really being like the focal point of the offense. And he only finished with 16 points tonight, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Got ejected on one of the weakest ejections I can remember in a while.
We don't know. The only thing I can say is, did he say something offensive?
And we don't know
or whatever. And I don't know because I have to assume it was that. If it was just because for like complaining about a call, I don't even know if there should have been a single tech.
On the surface, to us, the viewer, it looked like a very weak ejection. But we saw Aaron Gordon, I think, be really effective when he drove the ball to the rim, and that's when he's been most effective this season. My other big takeaway is JaMychal Green actually saw some threes go through the net. He went 2 of 4 from 3, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Look, a lot of Nuggets struggled tonight, but he at least showed some signs of breaking out of a season-long slump.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I mean, I'll piggyback off of just having Aaron Gordon be in that, like, spotlight where the ball is in his hands, where he's creating and trying to score, because that's something that he just hasn't had, especially being with the Nuggets. Like, when he came over, it was to be a defender. It was to fit and to mesh with Nikola Jokic, which he has been doing. So to see him have the ball in his hands, to be able to score and look like the Orlando Magic type days, that is pretty big for him, and something that the Nuggets have really, really needed. So that's a positive moving forward to where they could say, hey, we want you to do the same thing even when they have the MVP of the league as well.
Jeff Green's energy definitely better tonight in many ways than what it was the night they lost to what was the real bad loss that the 76ers.
Yeah.
He's a couple games in a row now. Doing the show a little bit out of order today just because the players, maybe we'll try this where we talk to coach and then we get a little update. What did Michael Malone have to say? I mean, we're already talking about this game as in how many big takeaways could there possibly be. Did Michael Malone have takeaways?
Well, let's get into it. I'll just say first, how would you guys guess his mood was tonight?
Bad.
No. We had a positive Michael Malone tonight.
Well, then that tells me what I need to know about it. Like, Malone knows what's going on, you know?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Malone actually said, obviously the first quarter was really bad. He always charged those deflection stats, those hustle stats. He said the Nuggets only had 2 in the first, and they just never made Phoenix feel them. They were running a scripted offense, and everything went according to plan, according to script. Everything was just too smooth. After that, though, Malone said he thought it was pretty good that they competed. You can't spot a team on an 11-game win streak 30 points in the first. But he was a guy who I think sound encouraged and he's stressing the importance of staying positive. At one point, he was asked if he's ever been through a stretch like this in his career. He's lost 4 in a row. And Malone said, I'm sure. A guy who's been in the league as long as I have. Going through a losing streak 4 games in a row is hard. But I'm challenging myself tonight throughout the game to stay positive and to be somebody that brings guys together and not allow them to fall apart and crack apart and split open. He went on to say, if we stay together and keep competing, the tide will change. I'm sure of that. More thoughts, just big picture thoughts. We can't just wait for, I'm paraphrasing, the big 3, Porter, Jokic, Murray to come back. Quote, we have to figure it out. It's on us.
Yeah. I agree with that when Jokic back. Like, because Michael Porter and Jamal Murray might be a ways off, but night like tonight, it sounds like why he's not too upset, because like, what do you expect here? I mean,
he actually liked the way they competed tonight. The first quarter wasn't good enough, and I think we all see that. On Bones, Malone said he's all right, thinks he's fine. Made a joke about needing to get some braces for him, because he pointed out it's the second ankle. The right ankle this time. It was the left ankle he hurt in Dallas, so both ankles now for Bones. But Malone did say he thinks he's okay, concern level low. Although I got to say, Malone, bad track record with low concern levels on injuries. On the Aaron Gordon ejection, he said that he and Gordon were talking to Natalie at the half, lobbying for a particular missed call on AG. She went back, watched it, came out, and told them, you guys are right, I missed that one. He should have been shooting free throws. AG did not get a similar call, and that's sort of what set him off in the second half there. Malone said he understood the first tech. The second one, he thought, look, he was walking away. A guy was escorting him away. It was,
Yeah.
He never finished that sentence. I'll finish it for him. It was unnecessary.
What a bummer.
On Jeff Green, I feel bad for a guy that's been in the league 15 years, playing him as many minutes as I'm playing him right now. But with all the injuries that we have, it's just something that's called for. He liked his energy tonight. He pointed out Jeff Green got to the foul line 8 times. Actually, as a team, the Nuggets got to the foul line pretty decent amount tonight, considering who was out. They obviously didn't make those free throws, but he credited Jeff for playing well.
28 times they got to the line tonight. Let's throw a parade. 28 free throw attempts?
It's a lot.
I will say, Gordon, and everybody should subscribe to thednvr.com, just $5 a month. Harrison had a great story out over the weekend about Aaron Gordon's drives to the basket. Like, honestly, I've noticed, obviously, when he puts his head down and goes to the basket, I never would have guessed it would have been as efficient as he's been. Yeah. And now you watch him, it really is a point for him to kind of attack, and a lot. We were talking about it during the playback. Like, good stuff happens even when he doesn't make it. Just good stuff happens when he attacks.
And as far for when he doesn't, I do think it's important to remember what a toll that can take on someone being so physical night in, night out.
Exactly.
Especially as the leading guy right now. And of course, we know he's coming off of a year where he was really nursing some injuries all year, and even that offseason prior. So, one last note: he was asked about the threes. Malone seemed at a loss. Quote, "I don't know what else we can do. As long as we're taking good ones, I encourage our guys to stay aggressive and stay confident. We've just got to stay with it." It's the same message he's had all year. The pull-up threes, the early shot clock threes he could do without. But he's not going to tell anyone to pass up an open three. I mean, at a certain point, regardless of roster construction, there are guys out there, Jeff Green, JaMychal Green, are good examples of guys who could and should be shooting better percentages right now. And so it's just something that they hope changes. They feel fine about the process. The shots just are not falling.
Do you think it's an energy thing, Dev? Like the team just has a bad energy about them? You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you have a rhythm and you feel good about what you're doing, it's easier to shoot. Do you think it's something? What do you think it is?
On the no shooting? Like why they're not shooting well?
29% again
they can't
tonight.
hit a three, yep.
I mean, it could be energy. I don't know what you could attribute to because they have open shots. I think it's the amount of contested shots that they take and just not finding a rhythm at all. When you miss a few open shots, it just makes it hard to just overcome. But there's nothing to attribute the fact that they're not making shots. Like, that's just tough.
Yeah.
And it's not a ball.
It's not the ball. It's definitely not the ball. I agree. The fact that Yoke went through pregame warm-ups today to see how he feels makes me hopeful that he'll be back for Tuesday's game.
Yeah. I think he could potentially be back. I mean, he didn't do anything warm-up wise before the Bulls game, I'll tell you that. I didn't see him go through any warm. So just the fact that he was out there, but a right wrist injury is tough because he's using that wrist every time he's out there, every dribble, every pass, every shot. It's tough if you don't have full strength in that wrist.
And why make it a lingering issue, right? As we've pointed out, such a devastating stretch of schedule coming up. I think you just want Yoke to sit until he's fully healthy and back out there as soon as possible. You don't want to mess around with him having to deal with a lingering thing, even if that's just pain and swelling.
Yeah.
There's another update we should get to. Did you hear this on the call vote? Michael Malone saying Michael Porter's away from the team Florida?
I was going to get to that as well. Yeah,
right,
it was there you go. There's your update. It was just kind of slipped in there. He was answering a question about Jokic's attentiveness on the bench.
Malone it says Michael obviously is down in Florida.
He's away from the team. Obvious to
nobody
us now,
except the team apparently.
Not something we knew about. But there's our answer. When we were talking last show, we didn't see Porter on the bench, which was a change. So there's your answer. He's been in Florida.
I actually got somebody on Twitter told me he was on their flight to Florida today.
Really?
Yeah.
So it must maybe a new thing that he went down there. If somebody, I mean, again, that's an unsubstantiated report, but
this was also
it would be a weird coincidence for someone to say that.
This was also the final question of the presser, so there were no follow-ups. Why is Porter in Florida?
Well, I've got to think he's getting another opinion on his back.
I would imagine that,
or some kind of specialist,
or some extra work, or just something to do with his back.
Well, that is interesting. Certainly doesn't sound like he's going to be upgraded to questionable.
That's the first Porter update we've gotten since that injury.
Yeah.
I mean, the MRI, we assume nothing was revealed.
Malone's so media savvy that just like slipping in
the last question and then walking out.
I will tell you this. From what I was told, the MRI did not show anything like catastrophic on Porter's back. That's what I was told. There's a rule in the NBA this season, I think it's a new rule, where like if your X-ray or your MRI shows something like, if your X-ray shows a break, like you have to report that.
Gotcha.
It's a new rule in the NBA this year. So there wasn't anything like I said, catastrophic from what I was told on the MRI. I mean, I'm expecting at this point pretty soon for the Nuggets to be like, we're shutting him down for a couple weeks.
Yeah, and then also, that's great news that there's nothing that was catastrophic on it, but also getting a second opinion or not being with the team and their doctors who, would have a grasp of like something not so serious. That means that something maybe, or at least you have to allude to the idea that there is something that's serious that is going on. If the team doctors are not figuring it out, then he has to go somewhere else and he's not with the team. That's not good news for me.
It's not good. I mean, it's not good at all. It's it's bad.
Yeah.
He's clearly not close to coming back. That's what this means, Whatever treatment they have been doing, because that's what's been going on. Michael Porter's been around the team. He's been at the facility. They've been giving him treatment in hopes that he would feel better and get back on the court. Him going down to Florida, the treatment obviously hasn't worked, is what you can gather from that. So it's not good.
Man, Nuggets so down bad right now. Just you blown out. Barton kind of tears a groin, or I should tear a groin. Sorry. Hurts his groin, albeit temporarily stays in the game or what have you. Bones goes out. Just a rough one. Any other takeaway? I mean, Aaron Gordon, we talked about it. 16 and 10 for him tonight. He goes 7 of 14. I thought he was good tonight. Not great, but good.
Yeah.
One of the big stories, if you just look at if we actually analyze this as a basketball game, one of the big things that happened tonight was the Suns have an unstoppable action. They score 48 points in that first quarter. They have an unstoppable action where they keep getting, especially against an undersized team, basically a screen at the top and then zigzag it back to a double screen, almost always force Denver to have a guard switched out onto a big and a big auto guard. Denver switches their coverage up and puts Aaron Gordon on Chris Paul in the second quarter, and it works great. They start to get stops. They start to fluster him. In fact, Phoenix went towards having Devin Booker bringing the ball up the court and initiating the offense and making Chris Paul basically a shooting guard. Mm-hmm. So it worked, and Denver's defense in quarters 2 and 3 was working pretty good.
And it worked because Denver's more comfortable switching now, right?
It's because they're more because then you do have guys. What would happen is that initial action they would switch, and then they would run it back and just switch back.
Right.
But because they were capable of switching that, right? You have your 3, 4, 5. There wasn't a big disadvantage gained from that initial switch. So yeah, it put him. But also it was because Aaron Gordon can guard Chris Paul. Like that's maybe not shut him down, but he can guard him a lot better than the 48 points that the Suns got in the first quarter. Yeah. So there is an important sort of tactical adjustment that even when Jokic and Murray and Barton are back, there is something I think that Denver found tonight against Phoenix that's like, if they had their regular guys and could score more than 100 points, they might actually have something there, going forward. So it's a little piece that you put in your back pocket that's like, maybe we found something.
Yeah, I think adding that wrinkle is really good, but is it sustainable? Like, are you going to be able to do it for long stints? Also, when Gordon's not in, can't you just do it on the other side without him?
But here's the thing. I always say about the series that the Nuggets had against them last year, because a lot of people will be like, oh, we just missed. First of all, weren't just missing Murray, also missing Barton there as well. But the thing is, Denver didn't have the opportunity to punish Phoenix to where, like, if you take away, if they're going to score 48 points with their knockout punch, like, okay, if instead they just score 25 points a quarter, now all of a sudden it's, can Denver score on you 25 points in a quarter? And my answer is yes. Like, we haven't seen what they look like against the Phoenix Suns defense, but my guess is nobody really stops Denver. So now, all of a sudden, they went away from Chris Paul against this version of the Nuggets because it was a better option to go. Yeah. That's a win. So does it shut them down? No. But do you take them away from the thing they want to do and make them go to option 2, which they never had to do in the series last year?
They didn't do once.
Not once. Yeah. They just went to option 1 for 4 straight games, and it worked. So the fact that Denver, even in this game, forced them to go to an option 2, and by the way, cut it to 9 points with this unit.
Right.
I think there's this, I'm not saying it's like, oh, they've solved them. It's just, oh, boom. The first time you kind of say there's a little card you have in your pocket.
That's the first counter they've had, right? Or
they actually made them counter.
Yeah.
They made Phoenix counter. Let's go.
So I think that's a takeaway.
Baby steps.
Why don't we hit another break? We're still waiting on some other people.
I'm going to hop back in there.
Well, you can hang out here until you see somebody hop on. Cool. I mean, we'll listen to Harrison's. Were you afraid you had to do ad reads if you stayed here? Is that what you were afraid of?
That's exactly what that was.
We'll get to some more topics on the other side, including Bones rolling another different ankle.
Sick.
Yeah. Make sure to pick up some Mile High City Copper Lager this week from Breckenridge Brewery. Great beer to drink during Nugget season. Great beer to drink during any type of occasion. You can pick it up at your local liquor store, maybe your local grocery store. They've got it sometimes. Also, if you're at the Breck Brew Farmhouse in Littleton, check it out there. Great food, great drinks at the Breck Brew Farmhouse. If you're in the area, stop into the DNVR Bar. Tons of different Breck Brews on tap, of course. And as always, if you're watching a Nuggets game, drink some Mile High City Copper Lager from Breckenridge Brewery. This weekend on DraftKings, we still got the Monday night game. I think you might be able to get this in for. Football's done for this week, but we still got a Monday night game tomorrow. You can bet on that game this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. If you're a new customer, bet $1 on either team to score. Win $100 in free bets when that team scores. When they score, you score, and you win. DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also get skin in the game with new same-game parlays. You can get that for NBA games too. Same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for an even bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Bet $1 on either team to score and win $100 in free bets. If they score, you score with that promo code DNVR this week at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
All right, back here, segment 2. Don't forget, guys, this is also a podcast tomorrow. I think we'll be doing the list. I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, am I going to go back and watch these games and break down? Maybe I'll have some clips from the coverage that I'm talking about so we can kind of dig into some of the weeds there a little bit. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get some guests on. I know Ben Taylor and Nate Duncan had a podcast. Ben
Did you
Taylor,
listen to it?
I did.
I listened to it.
Very pro Jokic. Nate Duncan, very anti-Jokic.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Maybe there'll be some meat on the bone there. Or have a guest on. Kale, will you pull up? I just sent you a production assignment. I don't know if you noticed. Can you go ahead and pull up our coverage of? Nope, not that one. The other one. Guys, we are going the Avs. I know the Rapids. I know a lot of people have been wanting us to cover the Rapids for quite some time. The Rapids right now are in the playoffs. They got a first round bye, matching up with the Timbers on Thursday on Thanksgiving. So actually,
Screw Portland.
yeah, this is the Screw Portland week. You got the Blazers on Tuesday. You got the Timbers on Thursday. And we're going to be doing live shows right here from the DNVR Bar. We're going to have one on Tuesday with some great people who are covering the Rapids and various outlets around. And we're going to come in and do a summit and, test it out. We've been wanting to find a viable way to cover the Rapids full time. And my hope is at least that it provides a sort of launching point. So if you are a Rapids fan, tune in, support it. We want to see it. There's Rapids fans out there that want this kind of coverage. I hope so. We're excited to kind of dive into it. We also have some credentialed media members going to the game. We're going to be doing a social takeover, all kinds of cool stuff. Not Dev. Dev's going to be covering it full time.
You guys don't know.
By the way, we actually have some Rapids players doing the show. So we're going to actually have live interviews with a couple different Rapids players. So it's going to be really cool. If you're into it, check it out. Also, Bones Hyland. Let's segue to Bones Hyland. Now you can pull up the other one here. Bones Hyland took this picture on Instagram. He's online. Harrison, he is online.
He's logged on.
Bones is logged on. He's in a boot.
Yeah.
Malone's impeccable track record of saying, I don't think it's that serious.
Well, this is a different foot.
I know.
Oh, did he say that after the game?
Yeah.
Oh, he said the Bones thing. Well, look, it is just a boot.
It could be totally fine.
Could also not be that serious.
I'm just joking, but
it is a bummer.
Hard cut to a jarring image.
So Bones Hyland, I mean, the talk of the town, fan favorite, this or that, gets banged up, and it's like, I mean, he has looked atrocious the last handful of games, and I don't even know if I can. Dev, how much of this do you feel like is injury, this or that? How much of it is like maybe he's just teams are figuring him out? He's it's getting tougher.
I think it's a mixture of both. Also, it was a lot of things that you really could, like the writing was on the wall with him coming into the season. He's a very small player, like he really is. That's been like the one knock on him is how big he is. And then really you're going through a grueling season where there was not a lot of them, and now you're seeing more of them. Yeah. And with all of that, like those minutes, you're feeling more banging. You're having to stay in shape. You're having to play at a high level. Shots are not falling, and on top of that, you're being injured. So again, this is like the first time that we've seen a rough patch for him in the league, and now it's like on top of that, it's being like the injuries are like overcome. Like it's overpowering the fact that he's also not playing well. So I think it's just a mixture of everything right now. I don't know how you probably have to sit him down until he's healthy.
Yeah, I'm pretty concerned, like, to be totally honest, because Bones is so skinny and his legs are so skinny, and there's just, I'm not a doctor, but you can see how he would easily roll ankles and tweak ankles. And he tweaked his left ankle twice in Dallas last week. And look, I know this is the different ankle. This is the right ankle this time, but like everything's connected. You know, maybe his left ankle wasn't as strong as it should be, and he had to give a little weight to his right, and like everything's connected with injuries. The whole body's connected. So it is concerning, and I said this on the playback, but not everybody that is on this show here was on the playback, so I'll say it again. These ankle injuries for him reminds me of when Jamal Murray was spraining ankles a couple years ago, and he would sprain an ankle, and then he'd play the next game, and he'd almost make it through the whole game healthy, and then he'd sprain it again. And then he sprained it again the next game. And they just kept piling up, and it went on for like a month. And so, yeah, I think, maybe you do sit him down and just wait a week for it to get healthy.
A week might not be it, though. I mean, that might be more of a 2 weeks.
Especially if you have both ankles injured. Like you have to actually ice and get control on both of them. And, when you twist your ankle, especially without wearing braces, you are a lot of it is overcompensating on one
Right,
side.
yep.
So that usually happens. Once you twist one ankle, you don't put on braces or whatever the case may be. You usually twist the other ankle because like it's chemistry. It has to be or something like that. But like it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And then also when you go back to the actual like play that he got injured on, he was the initiator. That's what's a
Right.
little bit
It
scary
was a
too.
weird
Like,
play, man.
he fouled the guy and then went to go bump him out of bounds, and
Yeah.
then he twisted his ankle.
Yep.
Like it wasn't like he was moving or anything like that. It just kind of happened. That's just like him being a smaller player. Like he just has to bulk up, and right now he has to rest.
It sucks, man, because he had a ton of momentum. It was only a week ago when Bones Hyland was setting one career high after another. What was that, like 3 straight games where he kept setting career highs in points?
Kale, will you put Tanner in timeout? There's a guy just spamming the chat with the same message over and over. Guys, it's a loss. Chill. Like, don't be a-holes in the chat here.
Yeah. But Bones Hyland had so much momentum going, and these injuries have totally stopped that. And for me, without Bones, I'm even more concerned about the bench because now it's really all on Will Barton with that bench unit, you know? Because him and Bones were the initiators with that group, getting into the lane, being the primary ball handlers. Now it's going to be Will and, a bunch of guys. So it makes me feel less confident about the bench unit if Bones isn't at 100%.
The team is just, it's just struggling to figure things out. I do feel like, the addition of Nikola, obviously, I feel good with the team, no matter who's healthy, as long as he's out there, like you can make something work. But, they go 1-3 essentially without Jokic so far to this point. And that's not bad. It's about what I would expect them to win, about 1 out of every 3 games or so. So hopefully they can get him back here pretty soon. Will Barton was a little bit off tonight. He did hurt himself in the second half, and it was kind of scary. Especially when you think about groin injuries. But he was able to play through it. Do you have any comments on Barton tonight?
The shot's not falling, and
4 of 15.
Yeah, and then 0 for 4 from the 3-point line. And that's a lot of Will Barton, especially with not having Jokic out there. Will's been a player that I feel like has putting in a lot of work to adjust his game, to be able to play off ball and be able to make smart decisions. Right now, he's not able to be in that, spot that he's been working hard on because they need him to be a guy that's aggressive. They need him to be a guy that has the ball in his hands and is taking those shots. And a lot of Will Barton's knocks is how bad of shots that he takes at times. Right now, the shots are not falling, and he's kind of forcing them, which, he kind of has to do. But then you go and, get injured at a time that Denver's already injured. That's not anything like positive or anything like that. It's nothing to be excited about. And then also moving forward, you're down Bones, you're down Will Barton, you're down, Jokic right now. Like, the team is, hit that injury bug, and it's not doing well right now. So this was not it wasn't a bad Will Barton game, but it was not a good Will Barton game. And now you're starting to see those trends of things that people didn't like from Barton.
Player that was a bit of a, I want to say they were a positive, but maybe I'll have a different takeaway on rewatch. I kind of feel like this is one of those ones where I'll have a different takeaway on rewatch. JaMychal Green tonight has 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. That's a pretty good, all well-rounded stat line. He shot 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, so he saw a couple go down tonight. He was a minus 22 in 25 minutes, which is one of the worst marks on the night for the Nuggets. I don't know if I should put those things together. I'm not trying to say it was on him. I'm just curious to see what I noticed on rewatch. But my initial impression was it seemed good to see him have a couple positive offensive moments.
Of course. Also, 0 turnovers. And
no
4 assists, right? 2?
Yeah,
4
4
assists.
yeah.
Coming
Big
into
time.
tonight, JaMychal Green had more baskets than turnovers, but it wasn't by that much.
Right.
So for him to just see the ball go through the hoop, that's just got to help out his confidence a lot. And then to see it go in from 3, I think this was a nice step forward for JaMychal Green. And it's been pretty shocking this whole season to watch JaMychal Green because Kale's really working overtime.
I think people will deal with it. It's fine.
This has been a shocking season so far from JaMychal Green because he has just been the model of consistency his entire career. So to see him just forget how to do everything he's done for the last 8 years for the first 13 games of this season or whatever, It's been weird. So tonight he looked like, the JaMychal Green he was last season.
This was a sorry to cut you.
No,
off.
you didn't.
This was a game with JaMychal Green where I think that a lot of fans are down on him, and I don't think this is a game to be down on him. I think that this is a game where he saw the ball go through the net. He also was like he tried his hardest. He's in a situation where he's playing against a center.
Yeah, he's way
not
undersized.
a center. You know what I'm saying? Like. And
well,
DeAndre
he's the
Ayton
Nuggets' backup center.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton is a pretty
true
good
7-footer,
center. He's
yeah.
a good center. He uses his size. He's skilled, and I mean he's doing the best that he could. JaMychal Green brings that type of identity to the team where he doesn't make an excuse. He wasn't out there making excuses. He's still trying hard. He's competing on the opposite end. Yeah, he was a minus 22, but you have a situation where you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Ayton in spots where they're just kind of trying to pick apart, whatever team that they're going against. And you have a player that's not a center having to try to defend the paint. That's going to be like tough for any player. So I think that this was a game that you really don't look too much at that plus minus because it doesn't tell the full story.
Right. Yeah, I mean, clearly anybody that played in the first quarter is going to have a major plus minus. That's really what it came down to. Jeff Green also goes 6 of 10 tonight, gets 19 points. He also saw the ball go through the net a little bit, especially on that mid-range fall away. I mean, Denver kind of found something there, although I don't know how much you want to keep going to it. But he was a little bit of a positive, I guess. Austin Rivers, another guy, he goes 2 of 5. I don't know what his percentage is from 3 over the last 5 or 6 games, but it feels like he's starting to find his stroke a little bit, which is a good thing. Like, Austin Rivers plays good defense. He could be, if you talk about Facu or Rivers, who plays on that second unit if you could only pick one, Rivers is starting to hit a shot, and he does defend. Like, he does play some pretty good defense, so hopefully his shot is back.
And look, if Bones Hyland is going to miss any time here, which it seems like he might.
Then they're both going to play.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Rivers is going to be in the rotation. Facu is going to be in the rotation. But, Austin played 28 minutes tonight. And it's funny how we're back here again, pretty much. Austin Rivers ended last season as a starter.
Oh, my God.
As the Nuggets were as banged up as they've ever been.
It's going to be back to being a starter.
He's back to being, Denver's sixth man.
28 minutes, yeah.
It's funny how everything's coming full circle. Not funny, depressing.
It's actually very not funny.
But Austin Rivers has played big minutes for the Nuggets before. It seems like he's playing, on track to play 25 minutes for Denver again.
Pretty impressed with Marcus Howard's ability to get up 7 shots in 11 minutes.
It was impressive.
Yeah, that dude's going to do it, man, every single time. To go back on Rivers, I think that would be kind of difficult of a situation to be in if I was a player. When everyone's healthy and everybody's around, you never need me. And then as soon as things are going bad, I'm the guy that you have to rely on, and I have to be the defender that has to guard multiple positions, and then also be myself, which you don't want him to be the guy that's out there taking all of these shots and things like that. So I think that he has a identity crisis at times.
Hey man, if I'm a veteran signing a minimum deal on a team, I'm going to the Nuggets. And they're like, all right, we got a spot for you, but you can only be the 14th man. And I'm picking between the Nuggets, the Suns, the Bucks. I'm going to the Nuggets because
14th man,
because there are going to be these injuries, and you're going to be in the rotation at some point.
You'll get to play.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you're aiming for the 14th man, though, you personally, if it's me and it's I'm the 14th guy on a team,
that's what Austin Rivers kind of is.
Then I would pick between Phoenix and Miami.
No, I would go into a situation that I could maybe next year be a 13th or 12th man.
That's what I'm saying. If
I'm able to play,
you're going to play.
Yeah, then I have a chance to try to be the 14th man next year. If I go there and I'm the 14th man, I'm never going to play. Maybe
I
might
be out of the league.
Yeah, but I'm out of the league. So I feel you, Harrison, on this one.
I love this optimism. This is how down bad the Nuggets are. We're really reaching right now for our takes. 14, is there a better place to be the 14th guy than Denver? Signs say no.
Agents that are watching this can steal that line in their free agent pitch.
Bol got into the game. Peter Cornely got into the game as well. Don't really have a ton of notes. Can we segue now? Before we go to our final break, can we segue? This is a little actually, here comes Vogt. I guess we'll do around the association in the third segment. We got Vogt. We got to adjust the zoom. Kale. Kale has you got to put your camera on yourself here to show off the fit. I see it's a very deadliest catch vibe.
The fit, it's a ski jacket, Adam.
It kind of looks like
He's just cold.
It is really
in the
cold
movies,
here,
like
man.
it'd be like a tornado or
He's like a
monsoon or
it's a
something going on.
monsoon
Yeah.
for sure.
And you just like, hey, let's just go make sure that look,
hey,
he's gonna protect.
honestly,
everyone
no,
for
get
sure.
down so they can
Nah,
really see the Norwegian. Your Norwegian.
You should be, you should be definitely just catching some crab on the coast
Yeah,
of
and then you look
Alaska.
at our outfits and you're like, what is the weather?
If any of us, if like our lives depended on us catching Alaskan king crab, I
Oh,
would
man.
definitely nominate Kale as our leader.
Yeah.
Because he's
No way
wearing a
I'm taking
coat.
Dev's advice on snow crab.
I could tell you a good place to buy some.
I got a good recipe or two, but
One thing, sorry, before you get started, we kind of went straight over to the Bowl in Corner
was there some meat on that bone?
Did you have more?
I mean, yeah, because I think that a lot of people are calling for Bol or Cornelly to be playing just because of the size. Not having a backup center and then having that type of size on the team. I just kind of want to say they're doing it for a reason. There's a reason that Bol and Cornelly are not playing, multiple minutes or a lot more minutes in those type of games. Like,
Yeah.
they're just not ready right now. And I understand like that, there's times that you want to say that Malone should open up the roster just to give guys more minutes. But I think that your hands are just kind of forced in those type of situations because how effective are you going to be if you're playing Bol for extra minutes and things like that? I think that there's going to be a time, maybe even the next game, if Jokic doesn't play where you're going to kind of be forced to see how that is. But you got to kind of trust Malone in these type of situations. If he feels like Jeff Green and JaMychal Green are the best choices to try to defend true 7-footers, that's telling you something.
Yeah.
Well, next up, you got the Portland Trailblazers, who don't have that really many imposing options at center. So
They got
maybe you
Nurk.
can. That was a joke. You
Oh.
didn't-
Well, I was going to say, Nurk, the one thing about Nurk is if you throw out JaMychal Green out there, he has given up like 70 pounds.
No,
I
mean,
love the bird, but honestly, like JaMychal Green was getting manhandled tonight by DeAndre Ayton physically, and if you put him out against
Right.
Nurk, it's like, come on,
I
man.
feel much more comfortable in that matchup against Nurkic than DeAndre Ayton. I mean, DeAndre Ayton can jump. Like, he can play above the rim. Nurk's much more of a below-the-rim guy. So I'd feel more comfortable. It's still not a great matchup, but feel a little more comfortable.
Why don't we hit a break? On the other side, we will get to JaMychal Green. Who else was in the
Jeff Green.
Oh, we got the Dos Verdes?
Dos
We had
Verdes.
the Dos Verdes. Awesome.
Back to back. A lot of energy and charisma.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet there was so
Overflowing.
much there.
I
Good luck with
can't
that.
believe this is the season.
We're already in the Jeff Green, JaMychal Green,
What
the
is
only
happening?
people we talk to.
No, don't forget Austin Rivers.
Oh, he
All
talked too?
No, I just mean in general.
Oh, yeah,
All
he's
right.
there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about ball. Let's talk about ball.
People
are what make ball special. People at every level come to ball and work each and every day, give 100% to accomplish the goals. The ball production technicians are the front line in their can-making operation. Ball came to us because they're looking to fill production technician positions at their Golden plant. If you want more info, jobs.ball.com and search for Golden. This position is on the front line of the aluminum beverage can production process at Ball's plant. The company offers a competitive $27.39 rate per hour pay. As D-Line pointed out, it's pretty good pay, $27 an hour, with the potential for increases at 6, 12, and 18 months on the job. It offers exposure to a lot of other manufacturing opportunities in the plant. The production technician role touches on the other stages of production.
Hey,
You all right?
cracking
Oh,
himself
someone
up.
put some jokes in the copy? What happened?
I'm just thinking about D-Line's face when I read this.
D-Line's going to go
missed
apply.
that guy.
Yeah.
I missed that guy. If you want more information, if you want to work at Ball at their Golden plant and fill one of those production technician jobs, jobs.ball.com and search for Golden. At Manscaped, use the code DNVR20 just the code DNVR for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. That's the code DNVR for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. I would recommend that Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. If you get the Performance Package 4.0, you get that, plus the Weed Whacker, your nose hair trimmer, plus liquid formulations, free gifts, including the Shed travel bag as well. So you can get all of that for 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR. You can get that at manscaped.com. Again, go to manscaped.com, use the code DNVR.
When's the last time
20% off
Manscaped?
plus free shipping.
That's personal. That's personal.
Sorry,
That's
my bad.
TMI.
That's right.
That's TMI.
That's TMI.
It's 2021.
Finally, Green Mountain Dental Group. When's the last time you've been to the dentist?
Way
That
too
TMI?
long. Way
About
way
6
too
months
long.
for me. Appointments coming up. Green Mountain Dental Group. Schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam. Get a free Sonicare toothbrush when you do. Toothbrush that most dentists recommend. Top of the line electric toothbrush. Schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental Group. They're located 15 minutes from downtown Denver. Great people. They're Denver through and through, just like us. Get a free Sonicare toothbrush when you schedule a cleaning, X-ray, and exam.
All right, back here for the final segment, and my guy Vogt ready to take over.
Who goes first, Jeff or JaMychal?
Doesn't
Let's
matter.
go Green first.
All right, we'll go with Green first. JaMychal Green.
You should have said the quote, and then we should have guessed.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should play.
shit.
Actually, let's play
Actually,
it.
let's definitely do
Is there
that.
like something pertinent that's gonna ruin? Like, let's do it.
All right,
Give
let
the
me
quote,
see.
Give the quote.
I
We'll
can't
guess the
imagine
green.
there's anything
Guess the
pertinent.
green
Come
here.
on.
This is the best way
Okay.
to do
I'm
this for
definitely
sure.
gonna know the
Okay.
answers.
On being a vocal leader, I'm going to speak my piece on what I see, but sometimes words don't need to be said. I know when to speak up. I don't think right now is the time.
JaMychal
JaMychal Green.
Michael.
Jeff Green. Jeff Green. Do you guys even cover the Nuggets, dude?
This team.
Oh my God.
It's not the right time,
Well,
huh?
that we should have known that because I bet JaMychal Green has already spoken up.
You think? I don't know if there's anything to say. I really don't, and I'm
That's
not trying
probably
to.
why
I
Jeff
mean,
Green said it.
yeah, that's true.
That's a good point.
I mean, look, these guys can't tell you the truth in these moments, and the truth may very well be like, guys, we're just trying to survive. Well,
Yeah,
like
I was
every
thinking
game we
more
win, we'll
like-
steal
Okay,
one.
so I'm gonna do this normally now because it actually does, I think, kind of touch on some of the questions
Okay.
we've been posing about energy and vibes
That was
and
a fun
everything.
That was fun.
JaMychal Green, who I do think, at least on first watch, was his best game of the year. Obviously, we're talking about low bars to clear. He was in an encouraged mood, perhaps not surprisingly. He pointed out that this is their low, but they just had their high. It's a 4-game losing streak following a 5-game winning streak. You can't fall apart. On Jokic on the sideline, he says he's the leader of this team, whether he's playing or not. He's always talking, always involved. He always helps us. To get to what I was just talking about, though, more germane, he pointed out that they had a good talk in the locker room, and he said everyone's heads were held high. Now, obviously,
Who's they
the Nuggets, the players.
with the coach?
I mean, I don't know, man. These
Okay.
are I don't know if but I assume he's talking about the players. Maybe with the coach. Doesn't sound like a players only meeting or anything.
Okay.
But we had a good talk in the locker room. Everyone's heads are held high. We know what we have to do. So I just thought you guys were talking about the energy and the vibes, and I actually do think, talking to JaMychal and Jeff right now, they're trying to cling to the positives. You know, look, our energy's been there. Like, this is working. We're close, right?
Yeah.
We can't fall apart just because of the injuries.
I'm glad they and Malone took that route tonight.
Me too.
Because if you were going to go like scorched earth, first of all, there's no reason to. And like, secondly, that doesn't do you any good because the same guys that were out of the lineup tonight might be out of the lineup in Portland in 2 days.
And that's exactly it. So they're just focused on getting it together with this group. JaMychal did go on to say, quote, "We're a great team. We're a deep team. We're always preaching next man up." So he sounds confident, and they're at least trying to preach positivity right now. Obviously, I mentioned Malone said the same thing, so seems to be a sentiment echoing throughout the locker room. Jeff Green on the losing streak. Injuries happen. It's stuff you can't control. But what we can control is our energy. The injuries, the shot making, that stuff that comes and goes on any given night. But again, reiterating the energy, that's something. Here's the quote. Quote, "We have to come out with energy. We have to come out with a lot of positivity. We have to come out playing for each other. We just need to go back to the drawing board. We still have the talent to win these games."
Okay.
And then, yeah, I thought this quote, I shared it already, but on being a vocal leader, basically saying, look, now is not the time. He's been in the league for a long time, and so his point was he knows when it's time to say something, and his read on this situation is that everyone knows what needs to be done. For now, it's just going out there and doing it. As always, guys, the players less concerned with any given result than we, the fans, the media, the people, and I think there's something to that. It's a long, long season. You can't get too high, can't get too low.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty. I mean, I honestly just don't have that many takes.
Yeah. This is a game that, like, you just throw it out, don't worry about it, go on to Portland. I mean, this game, honestly, it transpired about how I thought it would. I thought the Nuggets were going to get killed tonight. They did get killed tonight. They went up against the Suns team that has won a ton of games in a row, 11 in a row, maybe the best team in the NBA right now. So it went about as I thought it would. And look, you move on. You move on. The team's in a rough spot right now, but you just got to move on.
Yeah.
You're playing against the best team in the NBA without the best player in the NBA, on a team that's missing other players around them. Like, there was not – I really didn't – like, you just don't see a way that they could have won, that type of game. And right now it's hard to see any type of positivity. So you want your guys to get back healthy. You want them to get back in a rhythm and, find that joy. But right now they're playing without Jokic, who is – their whole, like, that's everything about them right now. So that's just tough to have a lot of takes after, like, just watching that.
You guys want to go around the association?
Dude, so effing bad.
Go, baby.
Oh, I
All
can't
right,
wait.
Super Chats first. Let's get to them.
I'm going to put my computer
Super
away.
Chat, $10 from the Smuggets. People ask, how can I remain a Smugget in these dark times? I say to them, the Nuggets have the best healthy roster in the league, and it's November.
Shit.
That's what you got to tell yourself. It's November. Can that be a rallying cry?
You guys know what?
It's November.
You know what Smugget is doing? He's riding the sea of life, just as Ariana told us to do. He's riding that sea.
No.
Is it choppy seas right now? Yeah.
But what do we
is.
do when it gets choppy? We throw our hands in the air and we say, "Wee!" This shit's fun. Right, Dev?
We say it's
That's
November.
all we do. That's
all we
what we
do.
do right there. We.
I like the ocean.
All right. All right. Next super chat.
I'm shocked.
I'm
Nobody
cry-
wanted to go
oh,
there.
hang
I
on.
like it. I'm
We've
a
got
big
our
fan.
haiku.
Did you
We've got our
discover that
haiku.
on your road trip
Oh,
through
wait.
Africa?
I'm crying as you speak. The Bones train has now fallen off its feet. And the anger as I grind my teeth, it's got to me. But oh no, the nugs seem to go. All right, Jack.
You've done better, Jack.
You've
I
done
love
better.
You,
You
man.
know what? It
I
was
love
still
you.
good. I'm still so glad this is a thing.
Appreciate
we
it
got,
as always.
All right, big time. Super Chat.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
We also got. So here's what I love. He just put in caps Super Chat. It's not actually a Super Chat.
Yeah, he tricked Kale.
He did send
he
it to
did
Super
send it?
Chat.
Oh, that's
he
true.
screwed up the Super Chat, but then he faked the Super Chat to
All right,
make up
we'll
for
allow
it.
it, Dave. We'll allow it.
Should we? I don't think we should.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I
We'll
like
read, of
it.
course.
I
of
like
course.
it, Dave. I like it.
Dave Farmar Yoga. They say it takes 40 days to form a new habit. Katie Wingy said on the tweet webs that it is 40 days till the new year. What should the Nuggets pre-New Year resolution be? New habit be? God, I really struggled through that one.
Pre-New Year resolution.
New habit.
What? That is a good question, though. I like it. 40 to, well, here's the thing.
It
40
takes
days.
40 days to form a habit? Is this like it takes 10,000 hours
Yeah.
to master something?
Yeah,
never
that's some
heard it?
Gladwell science right
I've
there.
never heard the I've never
Just
heard the
pick
40 day
number.
thing. No.
Yeah.
No, you haven't heard it. Yeah, no,
No.
this one's a real
Okay.
one. 40 days to form a new habit. I mean, here's the thing. I don't know that the Nuggets can start any new habit now. You know what I mean? Is Yoke back? Is there a habit that this group can form before them? I don't know.
Go ahead.
Make shots. Be a good habit to form.
I would say, and honestly, I think we actually have seen this in the wins more than people feel right now because of how games have gone lately. But just make sure the energy is a daily habit. And so it's not about is Jokic playing tonight
that's
or
a great
not.
one. That's a great one.
Go out there and play with that same energy and sense of urgency as often as you can throughout 82. And if you're playing that way with Jokic on the floor, well, then it looks like opening night in Phoenix, doesn't it?
yeah.
No. That was poetry. I actually snap on those type of things.
I'm actually with Vogt on this. And look, winning covers all sins, right? Losing, like everything gets magnified. When they had the 5-game win streak going, in particular the last couple, I felt like everybody was up on the bench. There was an energy to them. There was an excitement.
Absolutely.
And I do feel like when you watch some of these teams, you can see how much they are sort of enjoying the season. The Nuggets right now do feel a little bit lifeless, and I don't know of what comes first. If you just start winning, if you start to show life more, or maybe it is a thing, to your point, that it's like, hey, everybody just fake it till you make it.
That's
energy-wise. Like, everyone just
That's
start doing
right.
that, and good things will follow. I think it probably is a little bit of that. So that's a good one,
Yeah.
Vogt.
Who said this last game? Aaron Gordon said this last game. He was asked about Nikola and Jamal being up on the bench, being super vocal. And Aaron Gordon goes, if they're doing that, everybody can do that.
Right.
I kind of felt like he was calling out the bench a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, let's be more vocal. Let's be more engaged.
Well, to your point, I mean, let's look at the bench guys. You've got Jeff Green and JaMychal Green, not exactly the most like fiery, loud personalities. You've got Facu, who is fiery on the court, but I don't know if he had a towel waiver.
Right.
You know, you got Austin Rivers. I don't know. Maybe
they're-
it is one of those guys' job to sort of pick that up. I mean,
And they're all navigating like personal kind of lows here. They're not playing very well.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do think what you said, I really like that. Fake it till you make it. Like manifest. Like just control the controllables, and your energy is one of them.
yeah, I agree. All right, guys, let's go around the association here,
do
and we
it.
have to start in Detroit, where the Lakers get healthy. They get LeBron back, and of course, they win against the powerhouse Detroit
they
Pistons.
freaking won that game, man.
By
Yeah,
5.
That
God.
was a top level choke job. I wouldn't even call it choke.
Tank
They-
job?
They
Tank
tanked.
job, yeah,
Tank
they
job.
tanked.
They
Yeah.
tanked completely.
Dwayne Casey, captain of the tank.
When did the brawl happen, if I can call it that? Because the big story here is not the game itself. I don't care what happened. What happened was LeBron James and Isaiah Stewart got into a bit of a tussle, I would say.
Get tussle.
Do we have a clip of it, Kale?
Yeah.
I can't remember if you
And
pulled it up.
also
We do
just
have one
even
ready to go.
look
Let's take a look at this
LeBron
clip
comes
here.
back and just kind of cocks him in the face.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the phone right now.
Absolutely, man. He might be starting.
Isaiah Stewart versus, oh my goodness.
Someone in the chat saying he's faking. No effing way.
He's
dude.
faking.
That is
Faking
the
what?
angriest man.
Yeah, he's upset. He's actually upset.
First of all, like, hold me back is like one guy doing this, and the player's like, oh, he's holding
trying
me.
not to
This
get
guy,
around
these
him.
are like 5 guys grabbing onto him with full body
Oh,
weight while he's
yeah.
like, that's I don't know if he would have fought or if he would have done that. Who knows? But that was a very angry man.
What a hit, though. Like, really, for his face to be gushing the way that it is, they show it from a different angle where
Yeah,
LeBron
Bron.
just kind of just gets a clean hit on his face.
Was it dirty? I haven't seen a good angle.
From one of the angles, it looks dirty. It looks intentional.
Like he brings the
he's
elbow up
throwing
high.
his arm. I don't know if he knows he's going to get Stewart's face, but he definitely throws.
yeah, like he wants to
something.
make sure that
Yeah.
he knows he's there.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant to hit him in the face, but
he
his
throws
face
something.
opens up.
Yeah.
Like,
Probably like a $50,000 fine.
yeah.
Seems appropriate.
It's gonna be tough to make him like suspend him from one game because I think their next game is like nationally televised.
Oh,
It's the
yeah,
Knicks,
You can't
so-
suspend him for
It's,
that.
it's on the Knicks too. Yeah, you got to just give
The
him
Knicks,
a fine
the Lakers.
and say that it was like in the play of things and it was an accident, accidental.
This gets like slightly political here, so I apologize. But there's Dave McMenamin has a tweet. He says, "Wild scene here. Isaiah Stewart bleeding from his face from contact from LeBron James." And somebody quote tweets, reporting this as contact with LeBron is like saying officer involved shooting.
It's a great tweet.
That's
Yeah,
like-
Isaiah should not have hurt LeBron's hand with his face.
Yeah, like, hey, there was contact. Was it a punch to the face? I
Well,
don't
do you
know.
remember when in the NFL Myles Garrett hit that Steelers quarterback with his helmet?
Yes.
And then Adam Schefter just tweets out assault. That's what that reminded me of.
He's like
His agent was just like, Adam, tweet this shit out. Assault.
bleeding from his face from contact with LeBron James. What a passive voice! Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Incredible passive.
That's like how it was written in the box score. in the play-by-play.
The next game is gonna say questionable, like, and it's gonna have LeBron on there with questionable. Act like his arm
LeBron,
hurts.
Yeah,
sword
yeah, it was
hand.
contact.
Contact with face.
By the way, you know who wanted none of that? LeBron.
Oh,
man.
well, LeBron's smart enough to know. Like,
I know
what
he
am I-
can't get in
yeah.
fights anyway, but I also think LeBron was like, "Oh, that dude's scary."
Yeah,
that's pretty
just to go
funny.
back to the actual game because we're going around association. Incredible game from Anthony Davis where
Oh, yeah?
he just like closed them out down the stretch. He finishes
I
with
thought you were sarcastic.
30 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, 5 blocks.
Man.
That's crazy. Don't ever bring that up.
Who was he
again,
going
though.
up against? Jeremy Grant?
Yes, he was actually.
Okay.
Who also went crazy like scoring the basketball. Grant had 36 points in the game. 12 of 25. Westbrook was 10 of 21. 1 of 6 from the field. But he did have 26 points, 10 assists.
Well, there you go. We can keep going around the association here, guys. We will go over to the Mavs and Clippers, a battle of two teams that had the same record coming into tonight. The Clippers get the win, 97-91. Defensive struggle over here. Clippers get it. Let me see what happens here. Oh, there's still no Doncic. So they've actually been doing this thing that the Mavs have without Luka, where they keep losing close. Like they don't win, so you can't be too impressed, but they are way more competitive than I would have expected them to be.
Yeah.
Well, I think a big reason why Jalen Brunson is really freaking good.
Yeah, he's pretty good, huh? I like Jalen Brunson.
He's nice.
I don't like his hair.
Porzingis finished with 25 points. On the other end, Paul George has been on like a rampage, like offensive, like scoring. He finishes with 29 points in the game, 6 assists.
Serge Ibaka's resurfaced after being out for approximately 3 years. Doesn't it seem like he's been out forever?
Yeah.
Serge Ibaka?
Yeah.
Reggie Jackson also has 23 points in the game as the second leading scorer.
The Knicks were in Chicago to take on the Bulls. The Bulls just wrapped up that road trip, and the Bulls get the win, 109-103. The Bulls are officially back. This is an impressive win, man. They're on an impressive run. Like early on, I think it was fair to question: are they for real? Or are they not?
Yeah.
But
they're at least a very good regular season team.
At the very least, they're like a legitimate playoff, challenger. So, you get 31 from DeRozan tonight. You get 21 from Zach LaVine. He goes 0 of 5 from the three-point line.
Like, dude, come on.
Of course he does.
Help us out,
Evan
Zach.
Fournier, the $70 million man, 3 points.
Man, that's rough.
No, I know. I actually am in a group chat with New York sports fans.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
So I know all about Evan Fournier's night.
Good luck there. Julius Randle had 34 points, and this is the best efficiency that I think. 13
really
on
good.
19 shots. I never see that with him. And then he has 10 rebounds to go along with it. RJ Barrett has 15 rebounds in the game, just not scoring the ball.
The Raptors were in the Bay to take on Golden State. Golden State smokes them 119-104 as they always do. They were up 36-24 in the end of the first quarter.
These are easy wins they are racking up. And I don't mean like cupcake schedule. I mean they're making every game look easy.
Well, let's take a look here. Andrew Wiggins plus 30, Draymond Green plus 24, Steph Curry plus 19. Like those guys, the starters, it's one of those things where when they're on the court, they just curb stomp everyone.
Who do you guys think, or Vogt, I'll go with you. Who do you think was the two, like if you had two guesses on leading scorer for the Warriors, who do you think it was?
If I had two guesses, I would guess Steph twice.
Yep, exactly. And it was Wiggins and Jordan Poole.
Yeah,
Jordan
Steph
Poole
had a
finishes
bad
with
game.
33 points, 8 3-pointers made. Wiggins 6 3-pointers made, 6 of 8 shooting with 32 points. Curry has a bad game.
Nikola
2 of 10,
Jokic will
1 of
never
6.
have as bad of a game this season as Steph Curry had tonight. Mark it down.
Yeah, he finishes with 12 points in the game, 1 of 6 from 3. And that's what he does. He actually gets 7 from the free throw line. That was a rough game for Curry.
A bad game, some
So
would
I
say.
don't know who was a rough game for Gary Trent Jr., 3 of 16, minus 31. That's a rough game.
Wow.
But I will say, getting a 2 of 10 performance from Curry and it just not mattering.
I know,
First of
man.
all, 10 points is wild. 2 makes is even more wild. 12 points, that's insane. But that Warriors team, man, they just know who they are. They play with joy. I'm very jealous.
They're fun to watch, too.
Yeah.
They're also easy to enjoy without KD.
15-2, man. 15-2
Otto
What
Porter.
if they go on another 60 win? If they go on another 60
They
win
might win
season, it would be
60.
so
It's a little-
crazy, man.
Otto Porter is like the new Michael Porter Jr.
Wait, what?
Goes
am
5 of 9 from 3.
Down bad.
Oh, man.
Subs in.
There could only be one Porter Jr. at any given point.
That's what it is.
There can only be one
That's the
Jay
problem.
Green, too.
Yeah.
And we have neither of them.
It's Javonte Green.
Javonte Green in Chicago. All right, cue that outro music, Cal. We thank you guys for riding this wave of life with us. The crash right now is a little steep. It's a little hard. The water's a little cold. The sharks are swimming. It's salty.
But the ocean, guys, it's great. Trust us.
the ocean's
I like
great.
the
It'll come
ocean.
around.
I like it a lot.
I'm a fan of the ocean, man. I'm a
me
big
too.
fan.
Ride
What's
the
your
seas
favorite
of
thing to
life.
do in the ocean?
Pee.
Body surf.
Body surf,
Yeah.
not even boogie board.
I like body surfing. Yeah.
Body surfing is pretty good, man.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do in the ocean?
Jet ski.
Jet ski's fun too.
Jet ski's damn
Jet
good.
ski's that's a good one.
I'm a big floaty guy. I don't know.
Just
if
float? Oh, dude.
Hawaii, I posted up.
Same,
the whole
man. You get to
time.
that really calm water, and
Yeah,
then you get
dude.
the little floaty
You
and
just
hang out there and
chill.
sip a drink or
Little
something.
turtle
You're
came up at one point. Said, hey.
sunburned, like so bad. I'm gonna go with snorkel.
Okay.
Like a little snorkel. You look at the wildlife. Fish are like birds of the sea.
Oh my god.
All right, that seems like a good note.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.